the English Premier League title race. Oh my God, that is full of drama too. As dramatic as La Liga title race is, the English Premier League race has also been equally dramatic. Right? It started the week with Arsenal drawing against Wolves. No one expected Arsenal to draw against Wolves. Wolves is one of the worst teams in the league right now. And the fact that Arsenal was leading 2-0. 2-0, they were playing comfortably and all of that. And then something just turned. Unexplainable behavior. How they allowed Wolves to get back in that game to where Wolves was even able to get a last-minute equalizer. The whole world was in shock. Wait, what just happened? Arsenal just drew against Wolves? Man, I was in shock for Arsenal fans. Some Arsenal fans probably were doodling in their pants because this looks familiar. This looks early familiar to previous years where Arsenal will be leading the league and suddenly something will just happen and it seems like they will lose their way. And now they are like searching in shambles. Now they're like scrambling, trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Mentality is short. And losing does something to you mentally, whether you like it or not. The more you continue to lose, mentally you start to doubt yourself. Mentally you start to feel like maybe it's not just your turn. And sometimes it takes some winning to get back in that groove. Sometimes it just takes something to click for you. And I hope, at first, we're talking about we hope Arsenal actually gets back in the groove. Because Arteta, trust me, this season, if he doesn't win the Premier League, I feel like he's going to get fired. Yeah, there's a feeling in Arsenal. There's a feeling amongst Arsenal fans that if Mikel Arteta doesn't win the Premier League, it'll take him winning the Champions League for him not to get fired. So yeah, that happened. Wolves, Arsenal drew. And then this weekend, Newcastle, Manchester City. Arsenal now 5 points ahead of Manchester City. The expectation is Newcastle is not an easy team at all. Not an easy team at all for Manchester City. But they're at the Etihad Stadium. Newcastle beat Manchester City when Man City went to their home. So the expectation was like, you know what, this might be a little bit more of a difficult game for Real Madrid, for Manchester City than we think. Now, Pep, in his infinite wisdom, put on an amazing show of a coaching performance. The lineup, the way he had them set up, it was absolutely on point. Right? It was absolutely on point. Right? The defensive line, the midfield, the attack, using Semenyo, using Erling Haaland, using Mamouche. Those three guys are goal scorers. Those three guys are players who look for their goal opportunities. So now you cannot just key in on Erling Haaland. You know, if you key in on Erling Haaland, Semenyo can absolutely punish you. You know, if you key in on Erling Haaland, Mamouche can absolutely punish you, which gave Newcastle a dilemma. Who do we, concentrate on? They still concentrated on Erling Haaland, which enabled the likes of Mamouche, the likes of Semenyo, to be able to get opportunities. But the one that scored, that brought glory to Manchester City was O'Reilly. I used to think it was a left back. But then he plays midfield and you're like, oh, this guy is special. The guy got something in him that's absolutely amazing. right? And the way Erling Haaland was playing, he had something to prove. Erling Haaland he was assisting defensively. He was pressing. He was running around the field. He was making sure that the players were as attentive as they needed to be. He was the clear leader on the field, Erling Haaland. Absolutely amazing performance. But, Newcastle figured out a weakness in Pep's lineup. Ruben Diaz, no speed. About Lisari. Baba cannot run on. So they kept on putting in through pass. Put a fast player next to him and Ruben Diaz couldn't catch up. What did Pep do? In his infinite wisdom, he brought in his player, Kasanov. And they shut it down. They shut it down. They shut Newcastle down like, there's nothing else. Right? Newcastle couldn't go through that outlet of through pass, ball over the head, go run to the ball, and all of that. So they had to play the conventional way. Man City won. They had something to prove. After the game, though, the way Manchester City players and Pep Guardiola were celebrating, it almost felt like they feel like, oh yeah, we could win this. Oh, we could win this title. That's the feeling that it was given. That they could win this title, they could feel it in their blood like, oh yes, we got this. Which they have a game in hand. They have a game against Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. So everything points towards positivity for Manchester City. We shall see though. Then the London Derby. Arsenal, Tottenham. Now, for the past 5 games, Arsenal have completely trounced Tottenham. They've turned Tottenham into their little cricket. Once he boju Tottenham, German, and a bit easy. Whenever he sees Tottenham, it's almost like, oh my God. It's almost like he's salivating. Right? Context to that. Tottenham was the one that was supposed to sign Iberichieze. He didn't sign for Tottenham because he knew Arsenal was serious and he wanted to go to Arsenal. So it seemed like he's always been trying to punish them. The last time they played, Iberichieze scored a hat-trick. This time around, wasn't different. Baba scored a brace. And it was absolutely amazing. What a game from Iberichieze. And then you had Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. That was a goal that Thierry Henry will be proud of. A goal that Thierry Henry will be proud of. The way he shielded the player with his left, and then completed the goal with his right. What an amazing goal. Yes, a technical goal. Victor Gyökeres, everyone has been saying it's a bust. He's not doing what is needed. Arsenal you cannot win a league and not have one of your players at least have more than 10 goals. Like Arsenal currently don't have any player in the top 5 highest goal scorers in England. That's a problem. But they made a statement against Tottenham. They demolished Tottenham 4-1. And not even that one goal was like all right, let's just give y'all one. Right? But good game. Now it's just back to 5 points. But Man City has a game in hand. So if they win that game in hand, it's probably going to be 2 points. But let's see. Juicy English Premier League title.